Charmed7. The charmed ones watched on as Billy's depression deepened and the tormentor's power began to increase. "Should we try it now?" Paige asked, her impatience getting the better of her. "No, it's too soon," Piper answered. "That's pretty cold," Paige responded. "It's true though," Phoebe agreed. Unfortunately for Billy, giving the tormentor's power here wouldn't help her in the slightest. "So we have to watch this," Piper said through gritted teeth. Paige didn't say anything, she just chewed her lip in annoyance. Billy stole a quick glance at where Luna was leading her to. The young witch shuddered as she saw the sign for P3 in the daylight. Billy was guaranteed an audience as the crew from last night turned up to clean the club for the busier Saturday night. Waddling in uncomfortably, Billy was presented to the staff by Luna. "Did I leave some clean diapers here last night?" Luna bellowed. Moving to one side, the demon gave Billy center stage. "Somebody really needs a diaper change," Luna announced before tugging sharply at Billy's reins, pulling the young witch towards the toilet. As Billy was pulled across the dance floor to the toilet, the three tormentors moved up to the bar and jumped onto the stools. Luna warned them with a quick, "Behave," and then tugged Billy into the ladies. Billy felt the sick mess shifting in her diapers as she stumbled past the cleaning staff. Feeling her diaper beginning to leak into the next, her face contorted as 1,000 different emotions flashed through her mind. Stopping firmly on Revolt Ion, Billy waddled into the toilet behind Luna. "Now?" Paige asked. "Now." Piper and Phoebe agreed. Luna had stripped Billy of her diapers and was wiping the frozen witch clean when screams started to come from the club behind them. Luna quickly finished cleaning Billy off with a spell, and as the demon moved to place a diaper on around Billy, a gurgled shout for help was silenced by loud music and wicked giggling. Luna simply left Billy standing naked from the waist down as she turned and exited the stall. "Come on, Billy, move," Phoebe urged through her empathic powers. "Don't get distracted," Piper snapped through clenched teeth. Her brow covered in sweat from the effort of the spell. Billy felt Phoebe's presence beside her briefly. It was all the young witch needed to spur her into action. Finding her body able to move, Billy whipped off the harness and looked down at the diaper bag. She doubted greatly that there would be something for her to wear that wasn't embarrassing. Upon checking the pockets, Billy found the bag completely empty. Luna had simply been orbing in whatever she wanted to subject Billy to. Looking down at the 4 diapers at her feet, Billy separated the plastic garments and pulled one up around her waist. Knowing that she couldn't remove it without help, Billy gave her head a shake and pulled her hair out of the pigtails. Once she defeated Luna, she could ask the charmed ones. The young witch carefully stalked into the club from the toilet. Hiding behind a piece of the DJ booth that was now embedded into the dance floor upside down, Billy watched as Luna tried to stop the tormentors. The imps had grown in power and appeared to be continuing to do so as they began shape-shifting. They had used their claws, and Billy balked at the severed body parts of Piper's staff. Billy watched as Luna tried to use Piper's power to blow up the demons, but they simply changed shape or moved too fast for the fireballs to hit them. In turn, they slashed at Luna with their claws or batted back particularly badly aimed fireballs. Billy had no time to watch who was gaining the upper hand. Instead, the diapered witch snuck into Piper's office and moved to the safe. Not worrying about the combination, Billy simply blasted the safe open with a lightning spell. At first, Billy thought she had been mistaken as the safe appeared to be empty, but she stuck her hand inside. Billy felt the potion vials around her fingers. Carefully withdrawing a tray full of potions, Billy saw that Piper had been slightly more organized in labeling her potions. The first row was simply labeled Demons. The second, Powerful Demons. The third and final row was labeled Cataclysmic Demons. Pulling out 4 vials from the back row, Billy opened the door to the office a crack. Luna had summoned a tormentor to help her, but the imp had been absorbed into the others, which only served to lengthen their claws and sharpen their teeth. They no longer retained their forms as young girls now. Instead, they retained some of their clothing characteristics, but their oily black form was back, as well as the aforementioned sharp claws and teeth. Billy set herself up. She would have to throw the vials almost simultaneously and use her telekinesis to guide them to their intended targets. This meant that she would have to take out the tormentors first, as Luna was currently distracting them. And although Luna had the most power, the more immediate danger was from the tormentors, as they were now moving at incredible speed. Holding 2 vials in her right hand and 1 in her left, Billy waited until the tormentors had fallen back into a group together. Either Luna had managed to freeze them or they were waiting to strike, but it wasn't important. Billy flung the vials with all her might and only needed a little redirection for them all to hit home. Gathering up the final vial as the tormentors screamed and burst into self-consuming flames, the young witch chucked the final vial at Luna. However, the demon wasn't about to be caught out so easily. Instead of trying to dodge the vial, Luna launched a fireball at it. Billy used her power to shift the vial in flight. The fireball narrowly avoided the vial, but as Billy ducked to avoid the deadly spell, she realized that the vial's path had been changed and it would smash harmlessly against the wand instead of Luna. Clearing the path of the fireball, Billy looked back to Luna readying a lightning bolt when she saw the demon spin away from the vial, allowing it to hit her right forearm instead of the crystal. Smiling, Billy watched as the demon who had caused her so much pain began to burn up. Strangely though, Luna didn't appear too worried. Instead, she pointed the wand at her arm and froze the explosion. Turning to Billy, Luna smiled her wicked smile. "Now, I hadn't messed with your mind, but from now on you'll be needing those diapers for real," Luna said, pointing the wand at Billy. "Your maturity gone, your bodily functions too. Your diapers will fill with pee and poo. And you'll suffer from the power of THR. Luna had to stop her spell casting because as she had chanted, her arm had become unfrozen and she had once again started to burn up. "If I can't keep you as a power source, I'll destroy you at theirs," Luna said, orbing herself and Billy away. "Bring it," Billy challenged as she orbed with Luna. Reappearing in the playpen, Billy watched as the fire from Luna's arm flared up and had now taken almost all of her forearm and some her hand, as well most of her triceps. As the demon was distracted, Billy used her telekinesis to pull the bars of the playpen apart. Rushing past Luna, Billy knew where she had to get to. "You'll never reach the Book of Shadows first," Luna mocked. "And you'll never reach the Book of Shadows," Billy retorted, firing a lightning bolt back at Luna, who had to magically block it, resulting in the fire spreading to her breasts and stomach. Taking the steps 2 at a time, Billy knew that Luna was right. However, the young witch had a plan. Rushing into Phoebe's room, Billy grabbed the 2 potion vials that hadn't been smashed by the green-hatted tormentor. Not knowing what they'd do to Luna, Billy readied herself for a magical battle and quickly rushed up to the attic. Luna had not been idle whilst waiting for Billy. The demon had healed herself slightly and now had both her hands back. Her right-hand side was still engulfed in frozen flames, however, and Billy realized that all she really had to do was get Luna to use her magic long enough for the first potion to take effect. "I'm going to enjoy killing you," Luna sneered. "I think I'll make sure your body remains almost intact, so you'll have to be buried in diapers." "I appreciate the sentiment," Billy smiled. With that, she threw the first vial at Luna. The Jailer of Souls reacted almost immediately, using Phoebe's leviation powers to smash the vial of the ceiling. "Damn," Billy said quietly as Luna launched a fireball. As Billy ducked out of the way, she watched Luna turn the wand on herself again and freeze the fire. However, the demon seemed to be weakening as the fire was spreading faster than Luna was healing herself. The demon appeared to come to a decision and just froze the flames. Billy caught sight of herself in the mirror and had an idea. Standing up, Billy called upon her magical powers. Readying her telekinesis, Billy floated the vial out of her hand. As Luna watched the vial groggily, she began to raise her wand. Billy simply ducked out of the way and used her projection power. Suddenly, Luna wasn't staring at 1 vial but hundreds. Billy secretly moved the vial using the mirror to keep sight of it. Luna began to launch fireball after fireball, causing herself to burn up faster. Stumbling around as she tried to destroy the vial, the demon caught sight of the mirror. Suddenly Billy's plan was ruined as the demon blew the vial away with a fireball. Stalking towards Billy, the demon smiled. "Even if I go down, you're going down in diapers." She laughed. Luna then looked distracted somewhat. Gently touching her fingers to her hair, Luna realized she had been dripped on. Looking upwards, a drop of potion landed on her forehead. As the fire spread quickly around her eyes, Billy ducked out of the attic as the demon began to scream and thrash about. "I will not lose this power," Luna screamed. Then in a steady voice Luna began to chant. "I want to live, not to die. I want this potion out of my eye. I'm going to keep the power of 3. However, she never got to complete the last line of her spell as the demon erupted in a shower of sparks. Moving back into the attic, Billy picked up Luna's wand. Removing the crystal from its top, Billy began flicking through the pages of the Book of Shadows. It took several hours of research for Billy to find anything about this crystal, and 2 more before Billy could finally communicate with those inside. As Billy finally made contact with the charmed ones, she'd been without food or sleep for almost a day. "Guys, I found you at last." Billy's floating head smiled. "You sure did." Piper began. "Now how's about getting us out of here?" "I'm trying. There's not much about this crystal. I don't want to rush it and make a mistake." "That's good." Paige smiled. She nudged Phoebe in the ribs. "Hey Billy, how come we can only see your head?" Phoebe asked innocently. Billy made a face. Then with raised eyebrows said, "I don't know, I can see all of you. Must be something about being outside the crystal." She lied. "Sure it is." Phoebe agreed. "How's the diaper?" Piper asked. "You guys better not start now or I'll leave you in here," Billy warned. "So it's doing good then?" Piper laughed. "Don't worry, we'll get it off you and cancel the spell once you get us out." "Yeah, we'll get you out of that wet thing once we're free." Paige giggled. "But get some sleep tonight," Piper ordered. "If you get this wrong, it could very bad for all of us." Billy's lip petted somewhat. "Okay guys. Don't worry, I'll have you out of there in a little while." For further hours of research yielded no positive results for Billy, who could feel her diaper become cold and itchy. It acted as a spur for her to keep going until well past midnight, but eventually, when she couldn't even concentrate on the written words, the young witch eventually gave in to sleep and moved downstairs. Avoiding the boys' nursery, Billy fell asleep on top of Phoebe's bed, covers and all. As Billy slept, the crystal began to melt with a dark smoke. The smoke eventually began to fill up the room, where it became apparent it was the souls of Luna's victims escaping. Billy awoke slowly. Slowly stretching, the young witch banged her hands against the bars of her crib. As Billy's awareness slowly woke, Billy realized that she shouldn't have been in the crib. Her eyes shooting open, and suddenly Billy was very awake. Sitting up, Billy felt the wetness in her diaper gone, and even the slight diaper rash had cleared. Looking down, Billy saw that her Ninja Turtles t-shirt was gone, replaced by a more feminine pink My Little Pony nightshirt. Trying to clamber over the top of the crib, Billy heard voices outside the nursery. Panicking as the door opened, Billy moved back to the corner of the crib as 3 feminine forms moved into the nursery. "Good morning, sunshine." Piper laughed as she moved away from the light, revealing her identity to Billy. The young witch relaxed as the page and Phoebe moved so Billy could make them out as well. "And how are we feeling?" Phoebe asked. "Better now that you're in a clean diaper." "Okay guys, this isn't funny, let me out of this." Billy motioned to everything. "Sure." Paige smiled, orbing Billy out of the crib. Paige handed Billy a towel and motioned for Billy to cover up. Billy felt a draft between her legs and quickly moved the towel down. "Oh, thanks, I'm just going for a shower." "You don't have to worry about covering up." Phoebe smiled. "Yeah, it's nothing we haven't seen before." Paige added. In almost every diaper change. Piper finished as the charmed ones cracked up. Gronders sat downstairs on the couch eating a bucket of chicken wings. His stylish black suit was stained with the grease from the chicken, but he seemed otherwise happy. So you'll stick to our deal? He asked, his mouth full of wing as the charmed ones moved downstairs. Of course. Paige nodded. I'm not so sure. Piper said quietly. She saw her sisters standing hands on hips staring at her. All right, here goes. The demons of the underworld felt the magic battle raging again. Using whatever they could to watch it, they saw fat Gronders standing over the charmed ones and laughing. Getting ready to deliver the final blow, the demons watched as Piper stood up, blood-stained and weak, as she managed to hurl a fireball at Gronders. The fat demon caught the fireball in his hand and squeezed it, laughing. Getting ready to deliver the final blow, Gronders found himself hit from behind by Paige and Phoebe's hurled potion vials. Spinning around and shouting about the injustice, Gronders disappeared. So how long before you would normally return to the underworld? Piper asked. Not long, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. Gronders said, finishing his chicken. And they won't be suspicious of what they saw? Phoebe asked. Of course they will. They're demons. Gronders laughed. But they'll accept it. They only see what they want to see. And you'll let us know if Luna resurfaces? Will do, but she'll start off in a deeper level. It could take her hundreds of years to get out. Gronders added reassuringly. Well, I guess this is goodbye. Thank you for getting us out. Phoebe said. Next time we meet, we'll probably be on different sides. Gronders warned. But until then. Paige smiled. She gave Gronders a little peck on the cheek. Now look what you made me do. I'll be blushing for my big entrance. Gronders smiled sheepishly. Good luck. Paige said, orbing Gronders back into the underworld. Billy had finished in the shower and began drying herself. Stepping out onto the cold tile floor, she realized that she had nothing to wear. Tying the towel around her, Billy treaded across the landing to Paige's room. Gronders reappeared in the underworld with a large explosion, courtesy of Piper. His entrance was met with excitement from the lower demons. In fact, some of the higher-level demons were already questioning him when he reached his cave. Opening it, he found it already furnished with new leather couches and a big TV. He turned to the lower demons, who nodded. It was good to be him. Billy found herself orbed downstairs. Still wearing only a towel, she was face to face with the charmed ones. Guys? I'd like to go and get changed. Billy sighed, rolling her eyes. Pacifier. Paige commanded, orbing a pacifier into Billy's mouth. Don't worry, we'll be getting you changed for the next wee while. Phoebe smiled. You see, you probably don't want to stay and hear your lecture. Piper commented. So we'd thought it would be best if you didn't want to leave. Paige added. Yes, so we'll be in charge of getting you ready. At least until you've finished these. Piper smiled, drawing her hand from behind her back. And my room is a mess, and so is the attic, so you'll be staying until they're clean. Phoebe nodded, drawing her hand from behind her back. Both of the witches showed Billy what they had been hiding behind their backs. Revealing 2 packets of the enlarged diapers, Billy backed away. But guys, I saved you. She whimpered. But you got us captured in the first place. We want to make sure you're sorry. Paige laughed. Diaper. She commanded. Billy felt her legs pushed apart by the plastic diaper. Looking at the sisters, Billy sulked. Now you'll need something you can get dirty whilst you're cleaning the attic. Piper said. Onacy. Paige commanded, orbing a pink and yellow onacy onto Billy. Billy looked like she might say something, but instead she humphed and marched upstairs. How long before she realizes that we've removed the spell on her? Phoebe asked. Give her a couple of wet diapers. Piper laughed as the sisters began to playfully shove each other.